You guys, I've made it through some truly horrendous times in my life, and I've learned to find flow state in the most difficult of moments. This is what I want to teach you with this video is how to induce flow state and why flow state is a gift from God.
Oh my God. Guys, this is going to be a long video. We got Wes Watson here trying to describe metaphysical concepts. Flow state. I didn't even know what a flow state is. Apparently, it just means that you're focused on something. So we're about to watch this cornball describe for like 10 minutes. Oh my gosh. Why learning how to focus is good. Oh my God.
When you're acting in accordance with your conscience. Let me break this down for you. Your conscience is the authentic voice of God. Your conscience will lead you to perfect alignment. When you're in perfect alignment, your thoughts, actions, and energy aligned with the outcome you want and the outcome you're being guided with from above, you will be granted flow state. When you're granted flow state, you don't notice time as it passes by. This is the definition of inner peace. Not notice.
Let me get this straight. So Wes Watson, he's attempting to be on the enlightened timeline. I never really thought I would see this one. We've been covering Wes Watson just for like a week, and he's gone through so many different expressions of himself in a very short amount of time. But Wes Watson, he's basically just saying, if you think about doing something and you do that something, you're in flow state. You're enlightened.
Time as it passes by. Why would a prisoner have found this? Because time is the most painful aspect of prison. Time is the most painful aspect for you guys out here as well. I don't give a fuck what you're going through. Financial difficulties, a breakup, or your life is just miserable, or you're living day to day chasing vices like drugs and alcohol to where every moment can be just the most devastating and detrimental time of your life because...
So this is actually part of Wes Watson's shtick. He has this whole duality where he'll appear as this alpha male, but he'll also try to make you think that he's one of those guys that you could like sit down in a park and talk about your issues. And don't get me wrong, I actually think that this part of his whole facade is something that he's mastered quite well. Wes Watson, he tries to do this because there's a specific people that are buying his program, and it's like the guy that is down real bad. And don't get me wrong, I kind of feel bad for those guys. Like, those guys have like money issues, and they have issues with women and stuff. They just have a lot of issues, and they're just looking for a solution. It's actually a human thing to just look for fixes, look for ways out. And so I can understand why somebody would get finessed by this bald cornball. But Wes Watson, when he's doing this, always remember that it's just part of his strategy of getting customers. He does it by yelling at people, so attacking their manhood. He does it at doing this whole like sentimental talk, and he does it through other ways.
Someone wrote a comment in one of my posts a while ago, and they said, if you're not wrestling with your conscience, you're not favored by God. Oh my fuck, that hit hard. Because I've been teaching you guys for a long time now that your conscience is the authentic voice of God. Now, we need to get you in alignment. So what you're going to do is first remove everything that causes regret. Everything that causes regret in your life has to go. Is it multiple women that you're speaking to? Is it drugs or alcohol? Is it the overconsumption of food? You cannot connect to God if your plate is still full. You have to be in a sacrificial state.
It's really crazy to see Wes Watson tie in religious and spiritual elements into his whole like alpha male program. Honestly, I'm pretty like blown away by the fact that Wes Watson is trying to do this. Now, I've only been covering him for a week, so maybe he has done it in the past, but this is definitely a different tone in his videos that he usually does, where he's screaming and ranting. He's actually doing a pretty good job of holding back the alpha male. But let me just break down something real quick, and you don't need to pay me $3,000. Basically, all he's talking about is there's this whole contrast between the body and the mind. The body will crave things such as food, women, money, power. And then the mind is probably your most inner self. And those are like the thoughts that you have that are its purest form, where it's not affected by anything else. And there's always going to be this battle between the body and the mind. But you don't need to pay me $3,000 a month for me to tell you this. Simply have control over the body, and then the mind will be able to be expressed in your reality or whatever. I'm not trying to sound deep or anything. I'm just really just trying to explain what he's talking about without charging you thousands of dollars.
You cannot have the plate stacked and believe this conversation is going to take place. He does not favor that. Remove everything that you regret. Regret's your guideline first. Then you step in the mirror and you see what needs to change for the better. Not just removal, but what actions need to take place for you to elevate yourself and become a worthy vessel, a worthy advocate of this message from above.
Oh my God. So Wes Watson, he's really trying to comprehend as he speaks. Like, oh, this cornball. So I've actually taken a little bit of heat from a small group of people. Most people are in overwhelming support of this channel and everything that we're doing here. But I just wanted to say something. So Wes Watson, the reason why I just don't agree with pretty much anything he ever says is I can never accept the fact that he's doing this from a sincere heart. A lot of things that Wes Watson say, you could actually get from your like local like pastor or spiritual leader. Like, you don't need to pay thousands of dollars for not pretty much everything that he says. You can just go to a gym. You can just talk to like a spiritual person, a pastor or somebody, and you can get everything that he's talking about from somebody that's actually much wiser and they've applied it in their own lives. Whenever you start adding money to this and then you have this whole bravado of, oh, look at me, look how buff I am. Look how many women I get. Look how rich I am. I will never be able to accept the fact that you are being an honest person. I will always just look at it from the framework that you are just trying to say these things to manipulate people in order to buy your bogus program.
Now, once you're conducting yourself in this way throughout your day, forget your job. Forget all your other shit. That's the sensory world activities that you engage in. I'm talking about the underlying stuff. Everything that's going on within you. And when you meet another individual, this connection you have, what's brought to the surface. So
I think a subscriber of my YouTube channel best summarizes what we just witnessed. So, by Jack Jumper's comment, have you ever noticed that after Wes Watson is done talking, you have no idea what the hell he said? You actually feel dumber. He's an unintelligent person trying to sound intelligent. Yeah, that's basically what just happened right now. He makes no sense often the time, and it's just actually crazy.
when we're talking flow state, the two things that will keep you in a state of flow at all times is peak physical performance and becoming the source of what you seek.
Becoming the source of what you seek. So Wes Watson is basically trying to say that if you want to achieve money, if you want to get all the women in the world, if you want to just be like this buff guy, then you have to be the source. You have to be the person that does all of that. When I explained it like that, it doesn't sound deep at all. All he's saying is you need to be the person that accomplishes those things. But when you add all these weird words like becoming the source of what you think, he's trying to sound like one of like those people that are really, they're not really understanding anything they're saying. They're just saying big words. Like they just say like really big SAT words or like a word from your thesaurus so that they sound really smart. But the guy's not explaining anything. Yeah, of course you have to be the center of everything that you do, or everything that is to be done will not happen because there's nobody doing it. Like that's not deep at all. We all know this. We all know this naturally.
Peak physical performance. During an intense workout, no negative state can coexist during peak physical performance. It just can't happen. It's never happened. You're not going hard enough if it fucking is. Next is becoming the source of what you seek. throughout my day, every day, all I do is work out crazy to put myself in flow or help people the rest of the time. Like I said the other day on my Instagram, I don't even get up and go straight into a workout anymore. I realize now at the point in my fucking life right now, I wake up and go straight into messages of people reaching out for help. You guys may
I'm pretty shocked that Wes Watson hasn't screamed yet. I think this guy must have taken a ton of ashwagandha before he recorded this, because this guy, I've never seen him this calm. But he says the first thing he does when he wakes up is not working out. No, it's reaching for his phone and helping people. We all know that's a phony lie. We all know that Wes Watson is grabbing his phone and going straight to the comments that criticize him. Because if you look right now on the screen, you'll see that his videos don't have any comments on them, or they're all heavily moderated. Yeah, if you go on Wes Watson's 500,000 plus subscriber channel, there's not a literal single comment on his most recent video that we are doing right now.
not have that luxury. And yes, I call it a luxury because I am saved from myself every time I assist somebody else. I am saved from the dialogue within that is just straight tormenting to most people. If you don't wrestle with your conscience, you're not favored by God. So if you're not understanding why some people fight demons, it's because you're not there yet. You still have a lot to learn before you're ever going to be favored from the man above. He works with the people who've been through some real shit, and you just haven't yet. Okay? So he's letting you go. He's letting the rope get long, letting you go hang your motherfucking self.
Yeah, that takes the cake for being the worst part of this video. So, yeah, there's the original Wes Watson that we all know. Starting to get real mad, starting to get really, really, really egotistical if he wasn't already. But yeah, this is truly the worst part of this video. So Wes Watson is basically saying, yeah, you have no relationship with God. You have no favor from God or the one above. Yep, you want to know why though? Oh, it's because you're not doing what I'm saying. You're just like a puny brain human that hasn't really thought about themselves and how they're situated in the universe. Yeah, Wes Watson. Yeah, because every human hasn't thought about that question what's their purpose in life? What are they doing? Yeah, but they will do it if they buy your program. Wow. Yeah, this is truly the most schizophrenic part of this video. Wes Watson really lost his script with that one.
That's why you don't understand people who have. Once you've looked for happiness in the same place you lose it so often that you've actually destroyed your life and hit rock bottom, then you'll know. But until then, most of you guys are actually too pussy to hit rock bottom. That's why you'll never be a good entrepreneur or anything else either. You won't be good at anything because you can't even go to failure. You won't be good at building muscle. You won't be good at making money. You won't be good at a lot of shit because you don't redline.
Hey guys, so Wes Watson, that's the real Wes Watson right here. He wasn't able to keep it up. I knew that was so phony. The second I saw him acting calm and trying to be relatable, I knew that was so fake. Yep, the real Wes Watson is on your screen right now, and he's screaming. He's saying that you won't understand anything that I'm saying. You won't understand people like me until you've hit rock bottom and you've done the hard things I've done.
I'm telling you guys this. There's only two things. And why would we even know this? Think about back in the day, caveman days or early times. There was two things. There was intense, strenuous motherfucking work all day, hunting, building fucking shelter. Everything a man had to do was it was just so intensely laborious that he never had a free moment. He was always doing something physical. So, peak physical performance, always doing something physical, no free time. And then what? Becoming the source of what you seek. Sitting down with his tribe or his people and sharing wisdom that he brings back from his day of work or hunting or whatever. what he was coming across in.
I always feel bad for our ancestors that have to be unfortunately dragged through the mud and be attached to these fake gurus' names. I hate how Wes Watson sits here and tries to compare his lifestyle and his people's lifestyle to the time of the past where people in the Ice Age and Caveman Era had to fight woolly mammoths with spears, kill wolves with their bare hands, and take on the nature in its most brutal fashion. Yeah, Wes Watson. Yeah, because your life is totally like that. There's nobody on the planet that endures the same sufferings those people had to. Those were yeah, that was like a different type of breed of humans in their mind and everything. But Wes Watson's nothing like that. Wes Watson sits in his mansion in AC. He takes supplements where he's never sore or hurt. He always has food readily available to him. And I'm not going to sit here and say my life's like that. Nobody lives like that, like what I just said. But Wes Watson is not like that. But all these fake gurus, they always pull this whole caveman, woolly mammoth era people. They always do this. They always do this. It's like the Liver King. Liver King also does this.
Side of it. So until you learn to love the work, you'll never know love at all. And the work I'm talking about is the internal work that makes you the individual that can go guide others. Back to my same quote that I said, our life's purposes. Create the individual you admire and gift him to the world. There's only two things. There's the physical activities and the actions that create the man you admire, and then there's you gifting him to the world. I guess you guys just really don't see it the way I do because you haven't had money yet. You may think it's going to be the money. It does nothing. This is a byproduct of creating the individual you admire and giving him to the world.
Oh my gosh. Wes Watson, in the same breath, he says, "Oh yeah, you guys don't know anything about this lifestyle because you don't have money." And in the next breath, he's like, "Oh, but money doesn't matter. All of this is just a byproduct." Oh my gosh. Wes Watson is, dude, this guy, he really doesn't ever know what he's saying. Look at this clip where he's venerating money so much.
Do you have money? Does he have money?
No.
Do you have money?
No, I don't have.
How much money do you have?
I don't
Does he
have money. But here's the thing. Why is money valuable?
Do you have money?
What is money valuable for?
I'm just asking. Do you have money?
I just said no. I'm broke. I'm a nobody.
No, but really, you are?
Yeah.
Is he really broke?
Yeah.
Everybody I know did that. Every single person I know that's successful got good at something that they could share with others, and they shared it to the masses, and they killed it. You guys, there's nothing more than this. I know I get caught up lately sometimes in the hater shit and this and that, but those are the distractions that are being sent to you so that you don't work on this.
If you leave a comment that's not in support of Wes Watson, he's saying that you're stopping him from achieving his dreams and preventing people from acquiring this information that will make them an enlightened and wealthy person. It's really funny because Wes Watson talks about these really metaphysical ideas that he has no understanding about, but he doesn't get the fact that they're actually contrasting from how he lives his life. If you live like an enlightened person, then you would never gloat money, and you would never showboat women and cars and your houses. You never do any of those things. Wes Watson is the example of a charlatan. He says something that really resonates with some people, but at its core, it's corrupt and it's been destroyed. It's been polluted. It's not being used for its intended purpose. So he has talked about some things that are good, like you being the center, like you being the person where good comes from, where if you want to do something, it starts with you. And that's true, right? But he's wrapping it up in like a Christmas present with his $3,000 a month program. He only cares about money. He'll try to achieve his goal by any means possible.
I'm just going to go back into these deeper topics, even if I deliver them way calmly. Sometimes I may come on turn. I'm not going to change the message, though. Today, this was the motherfucking message. If tomorrow the message is back, fuck these haters, and then the next day it's, oh, you got to love them. Well, that's what I'm going through. That's what I'm experiencing. I'm experiencing high and low frequency states due to misalignment and true alignment. When I'm truly aligned, you got to love them. When I miss a line, I'm gonna kill him. Do you understand this? People might refer to that as bipolar. I call it high and low frequency. You weirdos, the people who believe in modern medicine and all this bullshit that doesn't do shit and is a bunch of fuckery lies so that you'll take their medicine, you guys have stupid names for all this shit. I'm fully aware when Wes is in a high frequency state, he's vibing high.
I couldn't imagine being the person that gives this man $3,000 a month just to be yelled at. This man has no control of his emotions, but he'll sit here and try to tell you how to live your life. In my previous videos, we found out that Wes Watson has never had a job. Yeah, he's never had a job. Wes Watson is addicted to steroids, but he tries to appear as being natty. And then third and finally, he doesn't even have control of his own emotions. How can a person that is lost to the nature of their emotions, being good one day and bad the other day, is expected to be a leader, to lead other people to a good life? Yeah, that's not happening, chump.
There's nothing but gratitude, love, and enlightenment and connection to others, and I love the moment, even no matter what's going on in my life in the sensory world. And then low frequency West, everything in the sensory world could be perfect, and I'll be fucking miserable. Because I chose to be at a low frequency due to my thoughts and actions. Do you guys get this? Please tell me you understand that life by now, you can get it, that it's just high frequency states and low frequency states. And your goal is to never define yourself again at that low frequency state of guilt and shame and fear and desire, and only define yourself at that high frequency state of love, enlightenment, and gratitude.
The amount of times this guy spits when he speaks is actually pretty crazy. He's getting a little unhinged at the end because all the haters have got in his head. They live rent-free. They don't need to pay $95,000 a month to be in Wes Watson's head. And enough with this whole frequency crap. Just call it being in a bad mood.
Because that low frequency Wes is gonna happen. But that's not you. You notice it for what it is. Oh, that's not me. That's the low frequency version of me that sucks. It's borderline demonic possession. The high frequency version of me is me walking in direct alignment with the Lord above and Him guiding me to being my best. You simpleton fucks who will miss this message due to the person delivering it, I feel sorry for you. But guess what? Me and all my people will be there to guide you when you need it. Let's go!
Wes Watson saying that he's basically demonically possessed is something that I didn't expect to hear today. It's possible it could explain everything. Honestly, the more I think about it, it's probably the most plausible thing. If you made it to the end of this video, then hit that like button and consider subscribing to the Bubba channel. If you subscribe, then be sure to let me know so I can welcome you to the Bubba community. Have a great one, y'all. Peace.